All right, hello everybody, and welcome to today's episode, the very first episode of Confessions of a Business Analyst with Teso Adoroa. I promise that I'm going to have very intelligent business analysts, and we're going to have very decent conversations on this show. Today, I have my friend, a very intelligent business analyst. I mean, you guys will hear for yourself from her, and she's here, no other person but Aisha Rufia. We're going to be meeting her in a minute, and we're going to have a very meaningful conversation today. So, Aisha, can we meet you, please?
Hi, good afternoon, and good afternoon to the viewers as well. My name is Aisha Rufia. I'm a business analyst. I currently work in insurance for a company called Chunky Africa. It's an insurance technology company. I've been doing business analysis for about 4 to 5 years. And I usually say there's honestly no other career path that I would see myself taking. It's something that caters well to my strengths and my weaknesses. And it just makes accommodations for everything that is me. So yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
Oh, wow, that's interesting. I mean, I never thought about it that way. So, if I wasn't a business analyst, what else would I be doing? But, I think that's a question for another day. Aisha said that if she wasn't the business, she has not imagined doing anything apart from business analysis because it's the core of who she is. I think you like to solve people's problems. I'll table my own after the session today so you can help
Yeah.
me solve them. All right. So that's interesting. Maybe you should also tell us about your BA journey. How did you get to become a BA? Were they challenges? Were they just tell us that story. You said you've been a BA for about 4 to 5 years. So how did you become a BA? Did you start off your work after school as being a BA, or let's know. Thank you.
Okay, so this is actually a story I love to tell because it wasn't something I started out to do exactly the moment I left school. It was just something that I would say everything led me to. I studied microbiology, and um so during my service year, I remember that I was in my room one day thinking of what to do after my service because I wasn't very um passionate about microbiology. But I have a strength which is writing, and that's why I would say communication is actually one of my strong suits as a business analyst. So I have been a writer right from when I was a child. I used to write. I love reading. In fact, I have this little thing I used to do. I liked to read dictionaries. I used to read dictionaries as like I was reading a storybook. I would read English dictionaries, Yoruba dictionaries, French dictionaries, not looking for a word, just thumbing through them. So I loved to write. And initially, after my service year, I started my career as a writer. I was a blog content research writer at a design agency. But I like to tell everyone that there's a bit of business analysis in everything you do. So
Of
if you are
course.
looking to just start your career path as a business analyst, don't think that you have no experience because I can assure you that whatever role or capacity you work in right now, there's a bit of business analysis in whatever you do. There's a bit of requirements gathering in whatever you do. That's like the very crux of any job you handle, right? So while I was working as a writer, it was for a design agency. They did graphics design, UI, UX, and they built web applications. So while working on some projects, I had to liaise with stakeholders, clients to properly understand what it was that they wanted to write about. And along the line, actually, I got promoted from writer to brand manager. So I had to manage the internal thank you. I had to manage the internal team, designers, and everyone. Then I also had to manage um the clients on the external side. So while I was doing that, it was a lot of meetings, managing stakeholder communications both internally and externally, scheduling meetings, getting requirements, meeting with developers, and sitting in such meetings just to get clarity on whatever project that we're trying to actualize. So after I left there, I actually got another role, which was like an entry level role as a business analyst. But this was more towards the consulting side of
No.
business analysis because it's like a whole spectrum, right?
Hmm.
To solving organizational needs. You could solve it through strategy, through technology, through data. So it all just depends on what part of the spectrum you're in. So I got an internship role, an entry level role as a consulting business analyst. So from there it helped me to understand better what the profession is about. Then I started taking some certifications, and I just found my calling, so to speak. So that's my story. That's how I got into it.
Oh wow, very interesting, and I'm sure that you are already inspiring people who are listening right now because I mean, from microbiology to becoming a business analyst, no one would have imagined. And something you said that is very striking. You said that whatever you do, there's a bit of business analysis in it.
Yes,
Be
really.
it whatever it is, there's a bit of requirement gathering, there's a bit of stakeholder engagement
Management.
and all of that, and management exactly. So yes, there's a bit of business analysis in whatever you do, and you are able to channel that experience very well into your business analyst role. Thank you very much. Okay, so that takes me to our first question. So from microbiology to business analysis, was there like a culture shock? What shocked you the most when you became a BA? What was the difference? I know you were not really interested in microbiology, yes, but what was the difference?
I
Did you
wouldn't
see any
really call
shock?
it a culture shock because
Okay.
luckily studying microbiology had actually equipped me with that skill, but it was just not something I was expecting. So because I got when I got into business analysis, I saw it as more of a profession that prioritized soft skills more than the hard skills. So things like communication, that kind of thing. So what shocked me was how much research I had to do. It was a lot. So like I mentioned, I started out as a consulting business analyst. Right now I work more in IT, and I had to do a lot of research with business plans, SWOT analysis, that kind of thing. It was just a whole lot. Preparing pitch decks, that kind of thing, industry research. And even right now, as an IT business analyst, when you are working on a product, right, you need to research what the industry standard is, and just even when an issue is reported to you by a user, you usually cannot just take it at face value. You have to, generate your own scenarios to see exactly how the system is functioning or reacting to whatever commands you give it. So it's just, but luckily, like I mentioned, research is a great part of microbiology. So I was able to use my skills there to fill in that shock that I had. So it's just really the amount of research that I had to do that shocked me.
Okay, very interesting. I think one interesting thing is that myself, I started as an IT research and development executive. So
Oh
before doing
wow.
business analysis, I did IT research and
You
development.
had
So yeah, so I can relate when you say a lot of research, but that
maybe
research
one of these
prepared
days
me more.
for maybe one of these days you tell us about your story as well, yeah?
Maybe, just maybe I will. All right. So talking about also your starting becoming a business analyst and all the things
Mhm.
that you experienced. So what were mistakes for you? Like, did you make mistakes? And if you did, what did you learn from them? When we start off,
Oh,
we are very um we're very passionate about the
Very
job and want to do
vanilla.
everything. Yeah, and then we step on toes that we're not supposed to step on. What's that your mistake that you made? You know, and what did you
So
learn
I
from
would
it?
say that my principal mistake was taking in every taking in every request that,
Wait, hold on. Did you call it principal mistake?
yes, actually it was my principal mistake, the main mistake I
Oh,
made.
oh, okay.
That was taking in every request that came in. So a user would report an issue to me because in my role actually my business analysis tends a lot more towards systems analysis, to put it that way. So when a user reports an issue to me, my or makes a request, we want a new feature or whatever, my greatest mistake was taking everything in at face value, not properly querying or questioning, oh, what do you hope to achieve with this um new feature you want, or how did you come about this issue you're having. And the worst impact that had for me was in terms of scope creep. So when a request is made, oh, we want a new feature or something, and you don't try to understand why they want what they want and what it hopes to achieve, you run the risk of honestly running that project forever and ever, because you start to take in new requests, and the project scope just keeps expanding and expanding. And so I think from time to time you need to take a breather, calm down, and see how the direction you're going in, how it matches or converges with the original scope of the project. So ask your questions, right? A business analyst should be a great questioner, if that is a word, and a great
Absolutely.
communicator. Ask for clarity, understand the why behind every request, and you know, so that your projects can close out at the right time within scope and within resource budgets.
Okay, so in a nutshell, prioritize requirements and make sure
Yeah.
you're not just taking in every
You're not
complaint and
just
every
taking it.
request.
Learn how to negotiate with
Mm,
your business owners, find a middle ground, that kind of thing.
I think we all made that mistake. I
It's
think I
all
did
common,
as
I would
well.
say.
Yeah, it's quite common. All right, that's very interesting to know. And some mistakes can be fatal. Maybe on our next session, I'll share one of my very fatal mistakes that, you know.
All right, we'll be tuned in and waiting to hear.
All right, so your expected versus actual. What did you imagine business analysis to be? And I mean, did you, okay, from your experience, I know you came into the role gradually, but did you think business analysis used to do something different? And then when you started working as a business analyst, was it different from the reality, or what you expected was what you saw? Did you think it was going to be much easier and it was
It was
difficult
a
or something?
little bit different because, like I
Mm.
mentioned, I got into business analysis as a writer. So I loved to write, and I saw that there was a lot of communication and people management involved. So, like I mentioned earlier, I felt like it was more of a soft skills, profession. But so I may have thought that we were just like a requirement analyzer and gatherer, documenter, that kind of thing. But to my shock, when I got into the profession, especially when you're tending away from being a vanilla business analyst to a systems analyst, to a business systems analyst, I found that I had need for other skills like data analysis. Um, for instance, after I got in, I realized that I had to learn things like SQL, kind of thing. So data analysis, and actually with it as a system analyst, you have to help. your users resolve some issues. It's not everything, every bug, every little issue they have that you create a ticket and ship off to the developer. So I
Exactly.
would
I have.
learning data analytics.
Sorry to interrupt, but before I lose that, my colleague will
Mhm.
say, you don't have to log every bug. You don't have to log every
Yeah.
bug. Just the way
Yes, you need to have
the
learn
thing
to resolve
rhymes.
some
Yeah.
of them by yourself. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to learn SQL to, help resolve some bugs by myself. So data analysis and also strategy. So as a business analyst, you are not just it's not just IT. You have to learn strategy. You're also like an advisor of sorts, right? To tell the business what the best option is for satisfying a need that they have. So strategy, cost benefit analysis, basically those analytical skills. I had to learn those things, data analysis, strategy, and system debugging, those kind of things. So it was a little bit more technical than I expected. So basically I had to up my game fast. I had to up my game fast.
Interesting. And okay, it's good to know that you had to up your game. You knew that you had to up your game, right? And so you can match up to the role, and which is one of the very interesting parts of being a business analyst, because you don't know what will be thrown at you. You can get to work tomorrow, and you have this very challenging issue that you start questioning your sanity and everything. But at the end of the day, you bring clarity to that situation, and that's what matters the most as a BA. All right. So at this point, I think we'll take a few minutes and then we'll play a game.
All right.
Okay. So welcome back from that short break. We're going to proceed straight into our game. Now, this game is a very interesting one. The people that put this game together said I should tell you that they don't want you to pass the game. So just in case you don't pass the game, um, know that that's what it was meant for. So we succeeded, right? So if you let us win, we'll win. All right. So the game is called Real or Rubbish, right? So it's a buzzword game, and we're going to be talking about some BA terminologies, some BA phrases, okay? So you tell us if it's a real BA phrase or it's rubbish, or we're just making it up, right? So are you good to go? Let me know. Are you
What
game?
may be real in one organization is not real in another.
Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. We have Babok, please. There's the Babok
Oh, okay.
that guides every
So
BA.
you're
So,
talking industry standard. Okay.
mm-hmm. All right. So, real or rubbish? The first
Mm-hmm.
one is Moscow prioritization.
Real.
Okay, that's good. That one is very real. Okay, so Moscow prioritization is a real BA phrase. All right, let's move on to the next one. Stakeholder whisperer.
Stakeholder whisperer.
Yeah, whisperer.
Uh, I mean, something that makes sense. I know what it is trying to communicate, but I'm not sure it is real.
So what
It
is
makes
it?
sense. I know what it is trying to communicate. Someone that is great at communicating with stakeholders, right? But it
Just
doesn't sound
answer the question. Real or
okay, rubbish,
rubbish? That's
rubbish.
correct. It's rubbish. It's rubbish. Okay, next one. I think this one is
Mm-hmm.
pretty easy. Why did they even put this? Swim lane diagram.
Oh, that is very real.
Oh, very okay, great. Now the next one is requirement unicorn. Requirement unicorn. Real or rubbish?
I think that's rubbish.
Are you
Right?
sure?
Yeah, it
Oh
sounds
wow,
like rubbish.
that's correct. Very correct. Oh
So
wow, so
this is very so even the rubbish things actually do make sense in this
that's the
game.
point. We want you to think that it makes sense. That's the point.
It's a
All
nice
right.
one. It's a nice one.
So you have 4/4 so far, and I mean This is so good. 4/4. Okay, let's try the next one.
Oh,
MVP.
we are not done. MVP is real.
Okay, MVP is real. Great. Next one is getting tricky, so listen carefully. Next one,
Okay.
scope magnet.
Scope magnet.
Yes, scope magnet. Real or
No,
rubbish?
that's rubbish.
Oh my god,
That's
yes, it's rubbish. It is rubbish. Scope
interesting
magnet
game.
is rubbish. What?
I said the game is interesting.
Oh, okay.
When you
Next
told me
one.
we were going to play a game, I was wondering what we could possibly play
About,
here
okay.
this
Mm.
time.
All right. Next one is, I mean, it's getting tricky, so you have to pay attention. Fictional
Okay, now we are
fog.
getting used to it.
Sorry,
Fictional
functional.
fog.
No, functional fog. Functional fog.
Fog.
Yeah, as in F O
Functional.
G. Yeah. Real or
Mm,
rubbish?
a functional fog. Rubbish.
Oh, yes, it's rubbish. It's actually rubbish. We just put together two things that we think might make sense, but yeah, it's rubbish.
Makes sense. In fact,
Okay.
I may start to adopt some of this your rubbish terminologies.
All
Especially the
right.
first one that was require the first one I
Stakeholder
forgot what it.
whisperer.
Yes, it really did make sense.
Oh, okay, but yeah, it's actually rubbish. Okay, the next one is fit gap analysis.
Fit gap,
Fit gap analysis, yes.
like FEET
No,
or FI.
FIT, fit gap analysis.
I know a gap analysis, but
So
I've
is if
never quite heard it put together with that word. So fit gap. Rubbish
oh no, it's real.
is real.
Yeah, it's real. Fit gap analysis is real.
I mean, I know what a gap analysis is, but a
Mm-hmm.
fit gap analysis. Okay, I need to look into that.
Okay, absolutely. You need to. Okay, next one. Wireframe
Mm-hmm.
Ninja.
Rubbish.
You're sure?
Yeah.
It's actually rubbish. Wireframe Ninja is rubbish. Okay, next one is parking lot.
Parking lots.
Yeah, and that's the last one. Parking lot.
Uh,
Real or rubbish?
let's see, this your game is confusing me because parking lot, I don't know, it sounds like something that could come across in some kind of diagram or something.
Mm,
But I have to confess I've not heard of it before.
mm.
So yeah,
Fiction? Is it real or rubbish? Let's know.
parking lots.
You want to phone a
Fiction.
friend?
Rubbish. Can I phone you?
No, you
Uh
can't phone me.
I think so. You see, there may be things I've not heard of before, but that doesn't make them rubbish, and they make sense. But let me go with rubbish, or at least maybe not applying in business analysis. I don't know. I don't know everything. Look, I've not read the bar book cover to cover. I could have missed some pages. So,
What's your final answer? Real? Rubbish?
uh, rubbish.
It's actually real. So a
What is a
parking
parking?
lot. So
Mm-hmm.
say you have a requirements elicitation session, or you're having a brainstorming session. A parking lot is a place for ideas that you're not using right now, but you intend to use them in the future. So you have a
Okay, that
parking lot
makes
where you keep all of those ideas that people are bringing up, so that they don't, take you away from the conversation you're having. You
yeah.
put that in a parking lot, and then you revisit
All
them
right.
later when you're done with the issue on ground.
Okay, that makes a
So
lot
that's
of
how a
sense.
parking lot is used. Okay, but 8/10, that is very, very good record. So let's
Thank
clap. Let's clap
you.
for her. Congratulations.
Having for myself.
Yes. So that's a very good
Interesting
one. I
game, by
mean,
the way.
what?
It's an interesting game, by the way.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. So, I mean, first guest, and it's a winner, 8/10. I'm going to make sure that every other person that comes here tries to get 8/10. But I'll bring more tricky things like MVP shouldn't even be coming. I mean, everybody will know what MVP is,
Uh,
and they know that it's
yeah.
real. But next time. Okay, thank you
Okay.
very much for participating. Let's go right into our next question.
Sure.
What helped you when you were starting off as a business analyst? I know you talked about a lot of things, but I want to know exactly what helped you or who helped you. So if you have mentors, if you have tools and books, you talked about certifications that you did. Maybe you can highlight one or two of those that can help. Can be upcoming or even experienced business analysts who want to know more to go ahead and take those certifications or read those books or even make your mentors their mentors, right? So
So what helped me? Um, so it's a combination of things really, and I say this: there's no straightforward path to being a BA exactly. But I would say the principal thing that helped me is people, as people, mentors, and that is actually a very huge part of our job: managing people, communicating with people. So even when I started doing business analysis in the early years, when I was working as a branch brand manager, I didn't realize I was doing business analysis at that point. So the first person that helped me to make a correlation between what I was doing at that time and something I could do in was a person. Is my mentor. His name is Abibullah Bisiriel. So it just helped me to see that I actually do have BA experience and helped me to, find a way to rephrase the things that I've done to help me get opportunities. And another person is my BA coach of thought. He actually has a business analysis training school. It's called Flowtog Business Insights. You can look him up on LinkedIn. Is wonderful. And I would say the main thing that struck me was that even after our sessions expired, he still put time aside to me to talk to me and he helped me understand especially the business analysis mindset. So his name is Mr. Tosin Ogunkoya. You can also look him up on LinkedIn as well. It has really interesting preparatory courses and even advanced courses for business analysts. Then another thing that helped me was YouTube. I did a lot of YouTube. I still do. I still do a lot of YouTube because as a business analyst, and this also goes to mention answer an earlier question, one of the things that shocked me. So almost with each project, with each new job you get, you have to learn a new domain.
you know,
And you
you
have to
know.
learn a new thing all the time, whether it's finance, whether it's healthcare, insurance, so many domains, So YouTube has really helped me. In fact, there was this domain I was studying recently, data centers, like physical data centers with servers and everything. It had to do with electrical engineering, and I was just like, oh God, what am I doing here? So if you enjoy learning new things, business analysis is for you because new domains with each project. So YouTube really helped me. You just find a video that compresses everything, not everything, but like fundamental things you need to learn about a new domain and help you to prepare for whatever you have meetings. So YouTube. Then my colleagues, I would say that I'm a good team player, and the organization I work at currently helps to actually nurture teamwork. So when I was relatively new, and SQL was a challenge to me, I reached out to my colleagues. They were so helpful in helping me plan sessions, and even helping me with data dictionaries, that kind of thing. I also took some courses on LinkedIn actually, around requirements gathering, root cause analysis. So basically, I would say that there is no one rule fits all or a direct path to getting into business analysis. We come into it from different ways. Some people studied computer science and they are able to, easily transition into that. While the rest of us are coming from diverse backgrounds. And the most important thing is just to have that drive for solving problems, getting clarity, enjoying to spend time with people and communicating with them, getting clarity on issues and
Hold on.
prioritization management, that
You
kind of
act-
things.
Hold on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we come back to your point, you actually enjoy spending time with your stakeholders and people. Those annoying. I
Really,
just want to
I
know.
sincerely like some of my stakeholders. I sincerely like some of my stakeholders. There are some that so I have my favorite clients. I have my favorite clients, and
Okay.
even though, of course, in the meetings with them, I do not show favoritism to my favorite clients, but I think my colleagues know who my favorite clients are. So basically you just have to find a way to be impartial, even to the ones that are slightly problematic, find a way to manage them, find a way to negotiate and achieve common ground with them. And in fact, even give more focus to the difficult ones. Yeah, give more focus to the difficult ones because you don't want anything to slip through your fingers, right? You want to keep your
Exactly.
clients happy, you want to keep your organization happy because most times to keep your organization happy and do great at your job, your client has to be happy. So
Exactly.
yeah. So
And
you
it's
too.
those
Yes,
problematic stakeholders that would make, in fact, when they come raining down on you, you are not able to do any other work at all.
and you don't want escalations.
Yeah, at all. No,
You
no, you
do
don't
not
want to
want
be there.
escalation. Oh,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Okay, so
So
thank you very much
and
for.
also,
Okay, please go
sorry,
ahead.
one more thing. As a business analyst, because communication is your superpower, you need to be available, respond to
Mm-hmm.
your mails. In fact, actually, WhatsApp is my best. All my clients message me on WhatsApp before they even raise a ticket on Zendesk or whatever ticketing platform we use. So WhatsApp, emails, all those things, every communication channel, I would say that you have to make your clients see you as like their friend, that they
Mm-hmm.
can easily reach out to just, to strengthen that communication part. So yeah, that's another thing that's really struck me about business analysis. I hope I've
Very
answered it.
interesting. Yes, you did absolutely. So, mentors that shaped your career. Shout out to all of them. I mean, would be mentioning them, and then the certifications that you did, your colleagues, your YouTube, your research on YouTube, personal learning. And I say this all the time. Every time I talk to a business analyst, I said you have to keep learning. You really
Oh,
need to keep learning because I mean, if you
Charlie,
don't
the job
learn for
learning.
6 months, if you don't learn for 6 months, you are not relevant any longer. You are just living by your past glory. I'll just tell you the truth. That's what it is. So you have to
Mhm.
keep learning. And if I tell people how much I learn every month, they're like, "How are you able to do it? How many hours do you have? Do you have different from us?" And that's just
So
it.
one
You need to
thing,
keep
one
learning.
thing I do that helps me is that I'm lucky to currently work remotely. So after I close from work, I try to block out like 2 to 3 hours actually to learn, whether it is called business analysis or a new domain or a new execution technique. I try to do that. And it just sort of becomes an habit, right? That just, puts you ahead. So basically make learning a routine as a business
Exactly.
analyst.
LinkedIn learning is there. I mean, you can
Yeah, it's
keep
I
learning
actually
and
took a lot
learning.
of courses from LinkedIn
Mm.
at the early stages of my career. Yeah, still there on my LinkedIn page till now.
Interesting, interesting. Okay, one last question before we let you go.
All right.
Um, if you can advise yourself, if you can go back to the first day you became a BA and advise yourself, what advice would you give yourself? What will you tell the young business analyst? You know.
I would say try not to let things rattle you.
Mm,
Um, as a business analyst, especially when you work in IT, you work with systems, and systems are unpredictable,
mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
Um, Sometimes they have no reason to not work. You've done your QA testing, you've done your system integration testing. There is no reason for them not to work, but they just choose that day not to work.
Which is from Africa.
So, for instance, you have a demo with a client, and while you may have checked on the environment the day before, it just chooses that day not to work. So try not to let things rattle you. Sometimes it's your VPN that is just not working, your environment that is not working. When you work with technology, they're not humans. So as much as your engineers may try to maintain, you may try to maintain, sometimes things just don't go so great. So try to keep a level head, whether it is in a meeting and you are having a challenge with an environment or anything, or you're conducting research and you're finding it difficult to access the information you need, just take a deep breath and don't let things rattle you. Or you're in a meeting with a stakeholder and he or she's being, say, a little bit difficult at the time. Just because when I first started out, I was coming from a brand manager role, which was less systems, so people will respond to you, give you feedback, let you know what's happening. But as a
Yeah, and you
business
were
analyst,
basically in
especially,
charge, you know, so you were
yeah,
the big boss.
especially as a business systems analyst, you're working with systems, they can be unpredictable. So sometimes try to try to control these unfortunate situations as much as possible by preparing in advance, checking your environment, checking your technology, making sure that everything is at top shape. But sometimes it's just beyond your control, and try to just take a deep breath before you react and find the solution first rather than letting things rattle you, because if you let everything get to you, you're going to have a terrible day at work that day. And that was something that really, really got to me when I first started. Something is not working for some reason, and I'm just shaking and I'm just, setting myself up to have a bad day. So, yeah, you need to learn how to be calm. That's the advice that I would give to myself. Learn to be calm.
Learn to become. So I specifically love what you said about preparing. Be sure that you
Yes.
have done your due diligence on your part.
Depends.
Everything
Yeah.
should work the way it works. So if your village people or witches from Africa decide to, you
Decide
know,
to rise up that day.
yeah, so you just stay calm. You know, there's nothing else you would have done about it. But make sure that you have checked or
You
ticked all the boxes and you're sure
maintain
that
that
everything, yeah,
top
before
shape.
the demo. In fact, I have a boss. I had actually my previous environment. He would say that before the demo, you guys need to do a demo in house and be sure that everything is
Demo before
working
the demo.
before you do the
Yeah.
demo. Exactly, and he was very serious about it. He would make sure when you schedule the demo, he would tell you, "Have you guys tested? Have you done the demo internally?" And you have to confirm to him first before you can go ahead with
And
that.
you've done that.
And it just makes it look like, okay, we're just going to show you guys that it actually worked. And when we go into that
Yeah.
demo, we're a little bit more confident because we are sure that we
That
have
everything
tested
is
this thing
working.
and everything works well. We are not expecting anything to go wrong. If the people from our village
Exactly.
decide to come and do anything to it, we are sure that okay, we did our part and it was working just few hours ago. So that's very
And
interesting.
also
Do your groundwork.
that's where something else comes in. I have a boss actually. You need to learn to be a politician as a business analyst. For the few
Mm,
instances that your village people rise up, they'll perfect
exactly.
your communication, basically learn to be a politician, you know, be have tact and be diplomatic, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so those are really, really important
So you
things
can
so
manage
that you
those
can
kind of
manage
situation. Yeah.
exactly.
So instead of panicking, you're able to communicate clearly so they understand exactly what's
Yeah,
happening and they trust you
yeah,
again to come back for that particular demo.
I agree with that
All right.
totally.
Okay, so Aisha, what's happening? So, what are your big dreams? Typically, just tell us what you have planned out. Are you looking to hire business analysts? I'm available. You're the big boss.
It's you that I am me.
Okay,
It's you
so
that
so what's
I
up?
am
What's
me.
what's happening? What are you learning? You want to tell us what you're learning? Someone can join you in learning it, or just tell us.
So basically what I'm learning right now is learning a whole lot of new domains, especially around financial services because I currently work in financial services as well, but there's a whole broad spectrum to it. Learning new financial services domains so that you are prepared for opportunities when they arise. I'm available for opportunities, actually collaboration, and whatever thing that comes my way. So being prepared, learning new domains, perfecting my business analysis skills because like we said, you can never stop learning. I'm always trying to learn new techniques for analysis, perfecting my SQL because I'm not a developer, right? So it's a forever journey. I'm also learning a new language actually. Um
Oh,
well
interesting.
I've
What
learned
language is that?
French.
Oh,
So I'm trying
uh,
to get to like native speaker level. Again, just preparing for opportunities that come my way. Um yeah, so I'm also, preparing for the top certification, which is CBAP. That is something that I'm working on as well. So yeah, have I answered that question?
okay. Thank you very much. I mean, those are big dreams, interesting things to do. Learning French. I mean, I think I like that. Maybe I'll put that on my bucket list and also do it.
It's
So
fun.
thank
We
you.
can practice together.
Yeah, like to parler français, oui. you know.
Hit me
Yeah.
up, hit
So
me
merci beaucoup, merci beaucoup.
up. Dorian.
All
That's
right.
you're
So
welcome.
yeah, not bienvenue. Yeah, I know that bienvenue is you're welcome in the literal terms. Yeah. So
Yeah, yeah.
okay. All right. So thank you very much, Aisha, for making our time to confess today. To do your confession as a business analyst. We appreciate you, and we wish you all the best in your job and also all the future endeavors that you're planning to do. You'll become that native speaker French BA.
Thank
And
you.
thank you very much for coming. And we know that when we call you again, you'll come back to the show. So we appreciate you.
Definitely. I actually had a lot of fun, especially with your game. And
Oh,
talking about this helped me to, also like think of some things I've not thought about in a while for
mm,
clarity, that kind of
mm.
thing. So thank you very much for having me. This has
We
been
should be
fun.
saying thank you, but thank you for thanking us.
Thank you for on both our parts.
Thank you. All right. So we'll see you around. And to everybody
Uh,
watching, just stay tuned. This is episode 1. There are more interesting episodes to come. And Aisha promised she'll be back. So she'll be back. We'll discuss another very interesting topic. So thank you and
looking.
see you.
All right. You have a great day. Bye.
Bye bye.